From the studios of NBC 12 and ABC 25, this is First Coast News at 6.
Listen to that. We started to feel and hear more of Tropical Storm Arthur's impact today along the First Coast. Beachgoers scrambled from St. Augustine Beach as a squall line came through that area around 9:30 this morning. Winds whipped up sand and made for some rough surf there.
Let's take a live look at our live Doppler radar. You can see Arthur off the coast making its way north. A state of emergency has now been declared in 25 counties in North Carolina. We have team coverage for you tonight as we track the storm and its impact that we're going to feel here on the First Coast.
We begin with Shannon Ogden live tonight at Jax Beach. Shannon?
Good evening, Heather. Live at the corner of Beach Boulevard and Jacksonville Beach, the actual beach, at the lifeguard station. I'm just about due west of the eye of Arthur right now. It is about 130 miles just off St. Augustine right now. The clouds have increased quite a bit since we were here at 6 o'clock. It's still bands of heavy clouds, and that pretty much has been the result of this storm. It has made for an exceptional day. I mean, top shelf, grade A. Take a picture of it, send it to your friends, and make them jealous type of day. And let me show you how lucky we are if we can get a shot of it. As I said, the storm is just off our coast. It's a perfect day at the beach, and a rainbow just appeared here on the beach. So kind of marking that, guys, you get a pass on this one. Please enjoy this perfect day. This one's on me. The one danger that Arthur has caused has been rip currents. We've talked about it. Flags are still flying. Lifeguards have been pulling people out of the water, but it hadn't been too bad. People seem to be heeding the flags and the warnings right now. As I get ready to toss it to Tim Deegan, I want to say that starting to see some rain. I'm going to say 5 miles offshore, certainly much closer than we have before, but they are small tubes, small pockets of rain, and surfs right now, I'm going to say 5 to 8 feet. So let's go to meteorologist Tim Deegan now for a look at where he is and exactly where Arthur is heading. Tim?
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. We may have to pay him. He's doing a great job with some pretty good observations out there. Yeah, it's nice to smile now, especially. 48 hours ago, we were watching this thing forming. Indications were it was going to intensify and it was going to turn to the north, but as you know, even 20, 25 years ago, not a given.
That's right. We could have actually had hurricane watches and evacuations, but not the case this time around. We've come a long way.
Computer models helping a lot, as is the Doppler. Let's take a look. Helps us watch it minute by minute, folks, along with the hurricane hunters. So the hurricane hunters are here checking out the eye wall. Remember, the eye is the calm. The wall is basically it's a chimney of the hurricane, and that's where the worst a hurricane has to offer. Not quite a hurricane, but has hurricane force gust, and we think it's just a matter of hours before we call this Hurricane Arthur. Remember, as mentioned by Jeannie and Heather and Shannon, this system is headed to the north, and then we'll head to the northeast. These are the showers Shannon was talking about just offshore. In fact, we're going to go and first of all take a look at the big picture. Mike will take a look at the local picture. There's Arthur with the latest numbers, and those coordinates, as mentioned, place the eye wall, western eye wall, about 130 miles due east of St. Augustine. Cone of concern clearly goes to the north and toward the northeast, and this becoming a hurricane, in fact, approaching Category 2 strength as it hits North Carolina. What about for us? Well, look at the intense colors. That's where the intense winds and rains will be this evening. We're simply going to have bands, but maybe just a simple 15-minute band would cause a problem for you. Mike's going to check them out with the Doppler. Mike?
Hey, thank you, Tim. In fact, Shannon doing a good job with some of the surf and sea observations out there. Notice 5 to 6 foot seas, but up to 11 foot, almost 12 foot seas a little bit farther offshore Cape Canaveral. So really, we're still on the weaker side of this developing hurricane as it heads up toward the Carolinas. Wind gusts wise, yes, the highest wind still well out to the east, 38-mile-per-hour gusts, well offshore Cape Canaveral, 18 miles per hour closer to home. So live Doppler showing the swirling dervish offshore. Here it is, Arthur, Tropical Storm Arthur with 70-mile-per-hour winds. We no longer have any watches or warnings offshore. Okay, so what we're watching are these little rain bands, small pockets. And as you look at Jax Beach, I think Shannon's going to dodge this first shower. It's looking like it's heading toward Ponte Vedra as we head towards 613 thanks to our 2-minute advantage. But some more on the way, and we'll time those out as well coming back up. Let's get back out to Shannon at the beach with some more good observations.
Mike, thank you very much. You know, another reason this has actually been great for us is that Arthur has shaved off, I'm going to say 5 to 8 degrees off of what the high would be without him. So thank you for that, Arthur. Now, as I've said, this type of offshore storm can just be heavenly for surfers. One reason is because they understand rip currents and they respect rip currents. In fact, today some surfers were teaching some other people just how to behave in rip currents. Andrew Capasso has that. In fact, he is just right up from me at the Jacksonville Beach Pier tonight. Andrew?
Shannon, thank you very much. Good evening to you. You were talking about those clouds and showers. You could take a really good look at how dark and angry the horizon looks right now. We've seen this pretty much all day. We would see a band kind of come in, it would rain, and then the sun would be out 5 or 6 minutes later. One thing that has remained the same, the waves and the rip current threat. And as you were saying, Shannon, there are surf instructors who are out on the water today with children, teaching them about rip currents and what to do when the water gets like this. While experienced surfers ride the waves without too much to worry, those without so much experience say being out here is a challenge.
Lots of white water, really choppy, really hard waves.
Elaine Folger has only been surfing for a few months. She's part of a group of girls learning to surf and gave the rough waves a try.
In this weather, it's a lot of tough.
Leslie Curry is with Saltwater Cowgirls. Part of her job is teaching the girls in the class about rip currents.
We explain that a rip current can pull you out a little bit past the breaking waves, even as far out as the end of the pier. We want them to have the knowledge to be aware that it is a possibility.
Something she says her students can see firsthand, thanks to Tropical Storm Arthur.
When the ocean's churned up like this, they're a very real possibility.
While Curry says teaching her students about the dangers of rip currents and surfing in rough water doesn't just help them.
With that knowledge, others around them are going to stay safe. That's going to give them the confidence that they need.
Surfers like Folger say those lessons are crucial, especially on days like today.
They're pushing you everywhere, they're coming from every side, you're falling everywhere.
And Curry went on to tell me when the seas are like this and it does get a little rough, she'll pull the children out and show them what riptides look like from the shore so they can identify them here as well as when they get in the water. As the wind picks up here in Jacksonville Beach, Shannon, let's send it back over to you.
All right, why don't you drop a line in the water while you're up there, see if you can catch something for us. Thanks, Andrew. As I said, right now it looks like the center of this thing is more or less due east of St. Augustine. Jessica Clark is in St. Augustine, so let's go to her, see what the conditions are like a little closer to the action. Jess?
Good evening, Shannon. So yeah, just off the coast here of St. Augustine Beach. The storm is there, but you would never know it by just being here on the beach, except for the slight wind that we have. But for the most part, it's been a regular summer day at the beach, except for a few clouds have come by. No rain to speak of. I'm holding my raincoat because I haven't really needed it today. Mostly I needed sunblock instead. The Music by the Sea concerts every Wednesday night here at St. Augustine Beach in the pavilion. They're free concerts. They pack the place, and it still looks like it's going to happen here tonight on St. Augustine Beach. You know, a lot of people have kind of joked about when they saw us here on the beach, wondering, what are you going to report about? And fortunately, we're reporting that we've had a nice day in St. Augustine Beach. Reporting live, Jessica Clark, First Coast News, NBC 12, ABC 25. Shannon?
A best possible scenario for a rain jacket is to be holding it. Thank you very much, Jess. As you know, the shrimping industry is the backbone of the Fernandina Beach area, so when a storm like this is offshore, it can really foul things up for the bottom line. Mike Lyons has that story tonight.
I'm on the docks in Fernandina Beach. It is windy here, but more so out on the ocean. Many of the shrimpers here started pulling into port with word of the storm, many of them yesterday afternoon. Right now, they're tied up at the docks. They're awaiting better conditions. There are 8 shrimp boats that work out of Fernandina Beach, all 8 of them pushed into port by the high winds. Just waiting for the wind to break, the storm to pass, then they'll head out to sea again.
It's just too rough. We can't catch anything because of the sea conditions, wind conditions. And we need to, instead of taking a chance tearing something up, we need to be in port where it's more safe.
David Cook has been shrimping for 55 years. He says this is like a September nor'easter in July, a bit unusual. Cook says it's part of the game, dealing with Mother Nature. It does give him a chance to repair some shrimp nets on board.
Sharks is bad out there in the ocean, and they've been eating our nets up quite a bit.
Cook is hoping the storm does bring some good.
It'll cloud the water up a little bit. Maybe I hope it helps production some. Yeah, we're just going to ride, take it easy at the dock here, and go out after the fact.
Another shrimper told me they want to be out catching shrimp. He said that there is contamination in some ponds overseas where they raise shrimp and they export them into the United States. So he said that has caused the price of shrimp to increase. So they hope to return to shrimping soon and make a little bit more money than they usually do. They expect to go back out tomorrow afternoon or Friday. Live in Fernandina, Mike Lyons, back to Shannon.
Mike, thank you very much for that report. We appreciate that. Well, as Arthur starts to get its act together offshore, the clouds are starting to circle in, getting a little close here on Jacksonville Beach, and this is the worst it has been. So I think we dodged a bullet. We dodged Arthur this time around. I think that's a great start to the 2014 hurricane season. So Heather, back inside to you.
Shannon, great work out there tonight and all of our crews along the beach.
Absolutely.
They've been showing us their view. I want to show you this. Astronaut Reed Wiseman has this view of the storm from aboard the International Space Station.
He posted this picture of Tropical Storm Arthur on his Twitter page today, and he wrote, "Just flew over T.S. Arthur, hoping it heads to sea. Looks mean."
And at Wrightsville Beach in North Carolina, beachgoers being told to watch out for rip currents. Extra lifeguards being called in for tomorrow. That storm expected to intensify to hurricane strength as it moved towards the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
And be sure to get your weather to go. First Coast News has a fully featured weather app for Apple and Android platforms. You can download it from iTunes or from the Google Play Store. And be sure to download the First Coast News Hurricane Guide from our website. It's hurricane season. Just make sure you know exactly what's going on and your family's prepared.
Get prepared. Well, a local teacher facing charges.
The disturbance he's accused of causing after mistaking somebody else's home for his friend's home.
And that's right, the 2-minute advantage for Shannon. We've sent him inside because live Doppler showing instant updates, and those showers now moving on to Jacksonville Beach. Who's next? And the latest beach forecast for your big weekend.
All right, we can prove to you right now that Arthur really is off our coast, about 120 miles offshore right now. Not dangerous to us, but we can see something now.
Yeah, we're now finally starting to see a squall line move ashore. Andrew Capasso is out at Jax Beach. And Andrew, it started raining there, right?
It has,
Oh,
and
boy,
in a
it
big
has.
way. This is the most intense we've seen it since we've been out here since 9 o'clock this morning. The rain is almost going sideways. We're getting a really good gust coming in off the water, and I want you to take a look at just how windy it is here. See this umbrella? That was not really blowing much today, but now it's really going. You see some people still out in the water. The lifeguards actually are calling them back in because of the conditions that we're seeing right now. Now, we had one of these a little bit earlier this morning. It wasn't nearly this bad, but it lasted just a couple of minutes. And as I said earlier, 5, 6, 7 minutes later, the sun came back out. Richard, if you can go out into the horizon, you can just see straight behind us here, the sky is actually clearing. The gray clouds are going away, and we're starting to see some peaks of sun out there over the horizon. So it might not be too long. And I want you to come over here real quick. You can see the lifeguards are wrapping things up a little bit as the seas start to kick up a little bit here. But like I said, one of the most significant, I guess you'd call it, squall lines we've seen since we were here today in Jacksonville Beach and yesterday in Flagler Beach. Things are coming down just a little bit. We'll keep monitoring things out here, but for now, let's send it back over to you guys.
Andrew, thanks, and we'll check in with the weather team in just a minute. An administrator with St. John's Country Day School is accused of causing a bit of disturbance while allegedly drunk. Police in Pinellas County say Scott Zacher started banging on the door of a home he thought belonged to a friend. The property owner told police that when he told Zacher to leave, Zacher allegedly showed them his buttocks and licked the door. Zacher now facing 2 misdemeanor charges. When we called the school today, they told us they were unaware of his arrest.
Back out to all that rain and that squall line going by. When is
Yes.
Arthur going to be officially right by us and then leaving?
Right about the midnight hour. And in fact, as we take a look at the 7-day, including your beach forecast, rip current risk, seas, that all calms down back into the low range, so it looks like a good beach weekend, but we'll still have to keep an eye to the sky on live Doppler for some of those pop-up late day storms like we normally see this time of year.
Yeah, and the crews out at the beach were just getting word. They told us it just stopped raining there.
For now.
Quick
Okay.
showers.
Thank you so much. But with Arthur, we don't need to be nervous, but watchful.
That's right, and we're watching these quick hitting showers. The shower we saw move live over Andrew and your live Doppler radar is now over Solano Road and moving away, but a few more showers where those came from. We'll have an update tonight at 11, and of course the rest of your weekend forecast. Not looking too bad.
All right, thanks so much for keeping us posted. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
We'll see you back here at 7 and again at 11. Good night for now.